All right. Our guest today is Philip Pircher. This man is international. He's all the way in Italy. And so we're going to get our first international guest on to help us build. Again, we're targeting everybody who's trying to build something. You're an aspiring entrepreneur. You got a vision inside of you and you want to make that thing happen. You got to connect yourselves to people. There's a principle that says imitate those who have built something. And so this guy is the man. And so I'm going to introduce all his accolades here shortly, but I'm going to jump straight into it. Philip, was life
Hello, Dave.
always this good?
Absolutely not. I don't like all of the motivational speakers that tell you I started from nothing, but I think many people do, and I'm including myself there. I have no entrepreneurial family, just normal employees, and I was a young teenager with big dreams, and the journey was long. It was not always easy, but it was always wonderful. And life now, well, it's starting to become really good. We have built some great things, some great companies, and I'm building my better version every day, and that's what lights me up.
That's awesome. So Philip is a co-founder and he's a doer of Web and Grow, which is a digital online marketing space. They specialize in web design, social media, and targeted advertising. So your digital real estate, if you got a business, which everybody needs. He also assists companies in building and recruiting your teams. So they got an expert recruiting agency. He's helping visionaries ignite your passion. There's a level of passion that you have to have when you're building anything, and that's what they bring to the table. This guy's an executor, and he's going to help us today. Now, tell us really quick, where are you located at, man?
Well, in northern Italy, so in South Tyrol, midst of the beautiful Dolomites of the Alps of northern Italy, in small country. We have like 500,000 inhabitants here in this region where I live. So that's not even the urban area of a bigger city, and that's our whole region.
Wow.
But I mean, we are economically pretty strong, like northern Italy is. It's more similar to Germany and Austria, and that's where I'm based. So I speak German, Italian, and English. So that's
Wow.
why my accent sounds more like a German accent than an Italian one, because my mother tongue is German, actually.
Wow. So he's like multiple languages. That's what's up, right? That's what's up.
Exactly.
All right. So tell me, how did you get into building your own business? What caused you to do that?
I think reading the right books at the right time.
Mm.
We started pretty young, in middle school. So we were 13 years old, and I had a good friend of mine that we knew each other since, I don't know, we've been 7 months old. And of course, we haven't been close that young, but in elementary school and stuff, we've been friends. And you know, my this friend of mine that is my business partner today started reading some books, and I started reading some books, and we shared them, we talked about them. So they were like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. Those were the first books that we stumbled upon, and with that our personal development journey started. And of course, I mean, Dave, you know it better than me. If you're sucked in, it doesn't let you out. So there we started dreaming, we started thinking big, we started looking at people that made it, we started understanding that building something great, a company which is your own company, like realize, yeah, bringing your vision to reality isn't so abstract anymore. You can do it, give it some time. And that's how it started. Very naive, thought of course it would be easy. It wasn't easy, but that's part of the game.
So what got you into the game was basically when you're reading these books, was it something in there that gave you the belief? What caused you to believe that what you were reading was something that you could execute?
I think I brainwashed myself, to be
Mm,
honest.
no, that's good.
You know, we had this time in our lives. We're talking about 13, 14, 15 years old. where we ate those things. When we
Mm,
were in school, we didn't have to do much. So we were reading a book a week, a couple of books per month, listening to
mm,
audiobooks. I mean, at that time, the podcast industry wasn't that big. So we still heard or listened to audiobooks, read the books, watched on YouTube. I cut all my YouTube habits. I just watched TED Talks, TEDx Talks. So I was like all over the place and just consuming. And I didn't have a business idea in my mind yet, but that caught my interest. And it is the same principle that goes with affirmations. If you continue to feed your mind with this information, with these positive things, where others, my colleagues, maybe watched some reality TV shows and filled their mind with those things. I was reading personal development book. I was talking about them with my friend and watching YouTube videos, and so it became it came slowly. So I developed my mind just by reading and listening to that content for years. And so yeah, I guess that was the reason why this optimism grew, why I thought, yeah, it is possible, because I did hear different things for 2 years probably.
yeah. No, I think that's amazing. Matter of fact, I have a business partner, and that's the one thing that he said, and it's profound. He said, "I brainwashed myself." So I want you to speak a little bit that. What is the contrast of that, and somebody who's maybe either struggling to scale their business or even struggling to get into it to take the risk. What is the opposite of that that you think that they may be doing that could be hindering their progress?
Mm, well, it depends. I mean, you have to bring some patience to the table. If you have your visions, I mean, I guess Steve Jobs said that most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate that the things that they can do in 5 years. And of course, if you are trying too hard, if you are grinding way too hard, you lack the flow and the just going out, and maybe also the right kind of energy and motivation to build those things. So of course, if people are struggling and just hustling and being upset, if you are upset because your business is not growing and you're talk yourself down because you are not where you want to be, and you go into a pitch, into a, I don't know, wherever, sales pitch or doing some marketing stuff with that energy, you're putting yourself obstacles in the way that don't have to be there. So of course, go take the steps, take the necessary steps, small improvements. I'm always a believer of small improvements, good habits, and learning fast and executing.
Yeah,
I
no,
would
that's
say
good. So
those are the
if
most
a person
important.
if a person can't get it fast, that doesn't mean that they won't be able to produce it. Basically.
Exactly. I mean, if I look at our company, you know, if you look at the timeline and the results, it looks like a hockey stick. You know, you're grinding, you're working, small steps, small progress. I mean, you're making a couple of thousands. You started with a couple of hundreds, and over years, you think that there's minimal progress. But what's actually happening that you build yourself and you have to grow as an individual, as a business owner to unlock the next level. It's like a game. And if you look at the progress over the last 1 to 2 years, it really like exploded and grew. And I'm sure if we're looking back at it in 5 more years, the hockey stick curve will be even more clear, because it's at a certain point, if you have the momentum, it grows exponentially. So an important thing is, don't be upset if you look at the first part of the hockey stick because you're making valuable lessons and working on yourself. And yeah,
I love that
that,
you said you're working, even if it's not working in your business based upon what you see, you're working on yourself. How
exactly.
important is that key? Because a lot of times when I work with people, there it's good to have a destination of where you're trying to go, but at the same time, if you're not getting there as fast as you assume you would, you think that nothing's working. Talk a little bit more about what's actually happening.
Yeah. Wait, what did you mean in that question?
So what's actually happening? You talking about your
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I get it. Um, so I would say that it depends because, of course, I mean, we have to be realistic.
Hmm.
If you are doing a thing that the market does not want at this specific moment of time, you could be working for 5 years. Okay, yes, you make some valuable experiences, but still, that's not my philosophy. Don't work on the things that don't have a product market fit and justify it with I'm working on myself. So that's very important to me to make it clear.
Good.
But if you see some kind of progress, if you maybe you have to call 500 people to make your first sale, maybe you have to call to take 3 months of intense work to just get it started, to earn your first $5,000, uh, but still that's a good sign. So you're making progress. Maybe it's not as fast as you want. That's another thing, because that's usually an indicator of that you need to grow more as a leader, as the entrepreneur, and take this time, make your lessons, make your setbacks. The importance is to learn fast and change fast, pivot fast. Because what you shouldn't do is continue to do things that simply don't work. But I mean, give it some time. So yeah, what's invest on your personal development. That's the best investment that I really believe I have done over the last couple of years. Just this year, we had our 5 years anniversary a few weeks ago
Yes,
with
sir. Congrats.
our main company. Yeah, thank you very much. And we calculated to just bring, sometimes we'd like to bring some key facts that
Hmm.
we have launched that many millions of marketing budget, that we have developed more than 100 websites and stuff. And we wanted to bring in a fun fact because it interested me personally how much we invested in personal development
Hmm.
just 2024, just this year.
Hmm.
And we came to a sum of over 100,000 euros
Hmm.
that we invested, and mainly I invested, but also some of that went also to our team, of course, in ourselves, because that is the highest ROI that you can have.
Hmm.
If you're an executor, if you're putting the things into practice, and that may sound like a detail, but that's the most important factor and key to success. If you spend 100,000 personal development and don't use it, or just if you're just a seminar junkie that jumps from seminar to seminar just to buy the next ticket, and without executing it, the money is wasted, to be honest. Better spend it on vacation or on anything that makes you even more fun, or I mean, that money is wasted. But if you execute it and alternate, educate myself, execute myself, educate myself, execute myself, I execute it, then personal development, I truly believe it. And that's the thing that I've talked with many people that are way more successful than I am. They share this idea that that's the best investment, the highest ROI that you can make, because with that knowledge, it's so much easier for you to grow your own income, and that creates momentum, that creates more possibilities and other doors that open to yourself.
That's beautiful. Educate and execute. I like that cycle. Educate and execute. All right. So what do you say is one of the biggest challenges? Because obviously you're in the rhythm. There's no turning around for you. You say we celebrated our first 5 years. You're already looking for the next 5 years. We're not looking at building in days. We're looking at building in decades. These are all great principles, right? In the beginning, because we're helping people become the doers and become the person that's consistent with executing. Let's identify some of what major challenges that you ran into when you started building, and how did you get over it?
What is a little bit special to my story is that I started that young.
Right.
So I had zero responsibility when I opened my company. We started when we were in high school. So
Mm.
after school, I already founded the company with my business partner. We after school we had meetings with clients. So when I told my parents, because I was living at my parents back then, of course, and when I told them, yeah, I would like to, or I will open the company, they said, yeah, just go for it, do it. And when I told them, no, I don't want to go to college, I want to continue that entrepreneurial journey, it was also kind of easy for them because I already made some money. It wasn't much at that time, but they saw it working. So because we were that young and we took things with us and we grew into them, we didn't have those huge challenges. Of course, it was not easy. I mean, we started with $0 of investment. We both had just a laptop and ourselves, our mindset, and our we didn't even have skills back then.
Mhm.
Like we had knew nothing about marketing, but with personal development, with the right educational sources, with just trial and error and learning from your experiences, we got to a certain level relatively fast. And then, of course, it is not easy to just go in and pitch in front of big companies. We've been 18 years old. And then it was not easy either to just take that freelance position where you are there with your friend creating some marketing stuff and selling that to companies to just build a team, build a company. I think that is still one of the biggest challenges, to be able to scale it and to make that transition from freelancer, from self-employed through businessmen. I mean, we now have 11 people on the team to manage them, to build the structure, all the processes, and I mean, to just scale the company.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I love that. So you're a proponent of personal development. Tell me your thoughts on personal development, and how does that working for you, and why is it important to anybody getting in this building what's inside of them?
You know what's my life philosophy?
Sure, go ahead.
It's it's building my better version. So that's my definition of personal development. I want to build my better version. So there are a few components to that sentence. First, the better version. What's that? For me, that's being better than I was yesterday. And I see my better version in all areas of life. I want to create my better version in physique, just to be fit, to work out,
Mm-hmm.
to build muscle, and to
Mm-hmm.
continue to live healthy. In
Mm-hmm.
relationship, I have a beautiful girlfriend. I want to nurture that relationship, make her a wife, have kids someday. And just to be a great person with great personality, be inspiring, be motivating, be just like pulling people up while you grow, and of course be a great entrepreneur. So create a better version in all areas of life. That's what gives me so much drive, motivation, and happiness, just because with that philosophy all areas of life improve. If you're conscious, if you really try to build a better version, if you put, I mean, that's yes, that's some of Tony Robbins quote: energy goes where flows where focus goes. And if you focus on really doing that, I mean, the things improve, some faster, some yeah, some not so fast, but still. And then what else is part of that sentence? Creating my better version. That it's always a better version of yourself. Don't try to compare yourself
Hmm.
to your neighbor, to your college friend, to your work colleague, because that may upset you because you're well, comparing your lows or your normal state with the highs you see of the other people. So very important for that philosophy, especially for all the people that are interested in personal development, like I am. It was very important for me to really get this clear. I mean, it's about me, it's about my better version, and it's about doing the best that I can, and not to just play a race with your, I don't know, old friends
Yeah.
or people you don't even know.
Yeah. So two parts of that. I love that. So you said, to recap, always search for a better version of yourself. How can I get better than I was yesterday, and play the long game in that, in whatever you're trying to build or problem that you're trying to solve? How can you do it better? But then number two, which is profound, is to don't compare yourselves to somebody else's journey, because that, in a sense, will throw you off. Comparing your lows or your normal to someone else's highs is probably like inviting defeat. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Well, that will frustrate you, and that will get you stuck. If you want to get unstuck, focus on yourself, and try to do your best. And improving 1% every day, that will have you grow so exponentially. And when it comes to personal development, one of my biggest learnings is like small steps, small habits, consistently make a huge difference.
Small habits consistently make a huge difference every day, staying to it. Now, talk a little bit about what do you believe you and the company, uh, how do you impact and help the clients, who your clients are building businesses, they're solving problems for people? Like, what is it that you do, and how is it important as the essence of your company to help your clients?
Of course, when we're helping people live their dream life and live their passion. We here in South Tyrol have many artisans, and so small companies with a few employees, and they just make beautiful, high quality stuff.
Hmm.
And they started their company to provide a solution to do and fulfill their vision and their dream. And we notice it very quite frequently that when it comes to marketing, they lack in energy. They don't want to do that. They feel that they do love their job, but they don't like all the social media stuff, and they have to create a website, and then it looks shitty, and it doesn't work, it doesn't bring results. So while we are doing what we love, and our team is doing what the team loves of our company, the clients can do what they love because they can work on the things that matter. They can focus on the things that they founded their business for. And that enables the customers of our customers
Hmm.
to do the things that they love, because with that solution, whether it is a special product or a special service, we of course we look at what does our company, our clients provide, and we really value they should bring a value to the world. We don't just take clients for just making money. We really believe in that shared responsibility of, if we all do what we do and we do it well and we do it with passion, with a good intent, it's really for the better of the world. And then real short for the second business, where we are helping businesses to recruit talent and for a an A team. We're I mean, that has a beautiful impact. We're giving, by displaying the company in a good light and showing it off how it should present itself, with all the beautiful benefits and the beautiful stories that usually never talk about, but that are wonderful. By doing that, we um, enable a potential employee to maybe find his dream job where he really likes working at every day, and where he has beautiful colleagues. And we enable the entrepreneur and the company to find a wonderful team where they just have fun working and build great stuff. So I truly think that with both companies, I mean, that purpose and that why, well, is a big part of my daily motivation. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. A couple more questions here. And I was gonna you segue into this greatly. For a lot of people who are starting off, they start out as solopreneurs, right? And they're doing it all on their own. And then they grow. One of your companies helps people recruit and build a team. And you talking about your team and you talked about everybody's doing their part. How important is it to surround yourself with other people relative to what you're building?
Yeah, very important. I see two, two pillars when it comes to that. First, get your, I mean, I call them, I've caught that idea up of a motivational, German motivational trainer. Get your lions around you. The lions are the people that are just like you, other entrepreneurs, people of your community, people, I mean, people you meet at some seminars, the people you're grinding with, where
Hmm.
you work on some ideas, where you know that they work on some ideas. Those are, I call them the lions. Then if you have your company, of course, you need a great employees. You need a great team. Uh, it's ideally connected by the purpose, connected by the passion. In our case, passion for marketing, passion for the digital world. You should share the values. We have very strict values in our company, and yeah, it's very important that the team shares the value and shares the vision. And if you do that, you can build great employees to just build great things. And then when you talk about surrounding yourself with the people, you also need to surround yourself with the right mentors and people that are where you wanna be, that are have already achieved that. And it's not that easy because you have to bring value. No, you won't find mentors just by taking. I mean, you have to give. Givers gain. That's a philosophy that BNI, the Business Network International, holds. So mentors are usually the ones that are further on their journey than you are, and those are the people that you can ask if you're struggling, that you look up to, that you can um, really try to understand how they think, how they act, and just, yeah, I mean, build your inspiration and also build actionable steps upon these observations.
Yeah.
And those are, I think those are the different pillars I see when you say, or when I think about connecting myself to the right people. It's team, it's friends, lion stuff, it's mentors, and those are the primary groups.
I love it. Get your lions. I love that. Get your lions around you. That's
Hmm.
such a good way to look at it. It's almost like, we'll say here, like get them dogs with you, right? The ones that's gonna
Mhm.
go fight, go to battle with you in that war room. Who can you find that has the ideas, the passion, and the synergy that you could connect to and have the same values? Because isolation is really difficult to build in if you don't have the discipline. And sometimes, just partnering with somebody that see the same thing you do, and you guys working together is really going to help um, propel you. I love to get your lions, get your team, and get your mentors. Those are three pillars, right?
Yeah, well, and then of course, a fourth group is, I mean, your family and your old friends. I mean, they may not be lions, they may not be mentors, but they're still very important in your life. I mean, all those relationships they're nurturing, they are very important for everybody. So those are also a group of people, and you have to, I mean, you may want to spend time with them, which is perfectly great. Yeah. But also don't forget about the lions and the mentors, because if you just spend time with maybe your old childhood friends, with your family that may not understand you, what are you doing, what are you trying to build, is that safe, don't you put yourself at risk. I mean, they can hold you back, but usually they do it out of love, they don't mean no harm to you. And that's why you need the other two groups of people, the lions and the mentors, to well, those are the ones that help you grow and that help you fulfill your dreams.
I love that. A lot of wisdom in that. All right, how do you stay focused on those goals despite distractions, despite setbacks? How would you tell someone to stay focused?
To me, it's about structuring your day and the routines. I mean, to other listeners, they may not know, but I'm working with you, Dave, for quite some time yet, and we're together in our or in my work with you. We're extremely hyper focusing on that um, first hour of my day and on the last hour of my day. So to me, those are like of the first and the last hour of the day are like the frame of my daily life. And I choose very consciously what I put into those time frames.
Hmm.
Because usually, what people do is they get up, they make breakfast, they brush their teeth, they get ready to work, they snooze 100 times, and then they run off to work and are already stressed. So what I'm doing is standing up a little bit before the rest of the world wakes up, 5:30 a.m. Then going out of the room, my girlfriend continues to sleep, but that's perfectly fine. And I'm sitting on the desk and I have a small notebook there. I've printed some stuff out and have put it in the notebook. So there I can find my routine. So what I will do. There is a clear structure that I have written down. Then I will revise my goals, one sheet in the notebook, or my goals, my life goals, my 10-year goals, my 1-year goals. I read them
Hmm.
every day. And then I have some kind of, I don't want to call them affirmations, because affirmations often are seen or are misinterpreted as I see it. People think they just need affirmation and life will give prosperity to them. I don't think so. You have to put in the action, but still, I like that because there are some, I like to call them principles for my personality, that I really want to remind myself every day that I have set myself. One example may be that I never talk bad about other people. Instead, when
Hmm.
they ask me for advice, and when I don't have anything positive to say, I just shut my mouth. Another thing is that I know that I have to pay my success taxes, and I will pay them gratefully. What do I mean with that? I don't mean the financial taxes. That's you see, when I talk, I pick myself ideas from all the stuff I learn and all the people I follow. So that success tax theory comes from Dean Graziosi. Do you know him?
I do. Hmm. Hmm.
And he tells he told me in his book, or he wrote in his book, of course,
Hmm.
that if you look at all the successful people, they have to overcome so many obstacles. And it nearly feels like if you want to be successful, you have to pay the price. You have to pay the price of overcoming all those hard obstacles.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to pay some kind of success taxes
Yeah.
to, well, earn the success. So when God puts some obstacles in your way, I just view them as, okay, there it comes. It's the mandatory success tax I have to pay, and you have to pay your taxes. So I will pay them with a smile. So I will overcome and view that obstacle as just the normal thing to happen and the next steps. Because if I pay the taxes, if I pay enough taxes, I know that the success, and well, it has proven to come every time after I have paid my share of taxes. So
Yeah.
those are some principles that I have in there. And if you want, I can go on and tell you the rest of the morning routine.
No, no, I think that was it. I love that success tax. It's like you have to pay your share. And I think the world has sold so many people the easy route, and that it's not going to take work, or it is not going to take opposition, right? But we know that that is so untrue. And you got to prepare yourself for the battle, because you're going in the battle against yourself, right? The internal
Yep.
self that want to just lean to the chill as opposed to going towards the grind. And because we're solving problems for people, we're helping them through, and that's going to take the investment of your work, and you give them that and you get a return. All right, so I got two more. This first one, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Let's see if you can itemize for me. If you had to do a framework of somebody who is, let's go all the way back to the person who's on the verge of jumping out there to start or to
Hmm.
build something that they want. What would be a framework to get to, let's say, your success? That being successfully running a company that you've had in your mind or whatever. Like, if you could freestyle, what would it take for the steps to get to where you are?
Many things that we already talked about. Have
Yes.
your North Star, have your guidance, have your vision, have your, I mean, I like to call it North Star because you always
Hmm.
see that when you watch up the sky, you always see the North Star. That's the thing that
Right.
should guide you wherever you are. And set out to create your better version. And don't expect it to happen fast. Just expect to be just 1% better than yesterday. And I mean, that's the foundation. I would
Right.
say my advice would be to myself would be to like build your foundation, but execute while doing it. So, and that's deep because many people set up and they just build the foundation. They think that all they need is mindset. To be
Hmm.
honest, that's bullshit. They don't just need mindset. Yes, they need mindset. That's why my my advice to myself starts with build your foundation. Build your mindset, build your habit, small wins, small successes, write those journals, those gratitude journals, those success journals, get yourself to some kind of commitment. It can also work great if you just build a sports commitment just to prove to yourself that you can commit on doing things. You can commit on hitting the gym 4 times a week and do that for a year. That gives you great self-respect just by proving yourself that you can achieve what you set your mind to. And going to the gym is not so hard if you set that your right priority. And then if it comes to execute while doing it, learn but execute. What I see people do is they just think that they have to learn, so they buy books, they visit seminars, they spend tons of money on education, but then they have educated them 3 years and not put anything into practice. Yes, I mean, we talked about how much we spend. So we spend a huge load of money on our personal education, but that just works because you're executing it very fast. You can study sales as much as you want, but unless or until you go out and talk with people, you will not learn anything. No matter how much you have studied, you have to go out, jump into the cold water, jump out of your comfort zone and execute. If you learn marketing, just launch something or ask your friend that has a business. I will do it for free just to execute it. Learning is useless without executing. But you have to build your foundation. If you just start to execute, make some sales, maybe because you're a good salesman, it works, but you miss the foundation or the mindset, you may get to a certain level, but it's very risky that the house falls down once a wind comes or a storm.
I love that. I mean, I'm gonna try. This is no order, but I'm just recalling our conversation and everything you just put in that framework. Uh, One of the first things you said was brainwash yourself. That kind of what got you started, right? And then you said had that North Star, right? And then we're talking about, my handwriting is terrible here. Having 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 patience, optimism.
Wait, can I add something, Dave?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
when you talk about brainwash yourself, people may
Mhm,
think, okay, hey, Philip, you talk about executing here, but at the beginning of the conversation, we talked about that I have brainwashed myself for years. Yes, I have, but I had some, we call them fun projects today because we had some business ideas with my
mhm.
business partner and we executed along the way. But until we were 16 and 17, nothing worked. So we had spent some marketing budget, we had done some things, but without success. But still, it's very important for me to add this to the previous part of the conversation. When I think mean brainwash yourself, I mean it's very important, or the thing that the fact that we have tried and launched some stuff without big investment and everything is very crucial, because it wouldn't have worked so well if I just read personal development books for 4 years and then started my well, at least today's main company.
So you're saying, and this is good. That's mind and behavior, and it goes back to your educate and execute. Is that's the common thing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Learn and work, right? And I think the message, if they haven't heard it, that's what we're pulling out of your wisdom. It's learning and educating is only half the battle. You have to gain experience through the executing of what you hear. So anybody who's listening to this and you're in this season of stuck or struggle or whatever you are before you scale up, it's not enough to keep listening to these podcasts. What can we take? And this is why we're listening this out from today and go and execute today, as opposed to clicking to the next thing that's going to tell you more of what you already probably got inside of you. And I think that's what we're pulling. It's the execution that gives you the experience. And as it's stated, there's wisdom is the right application of the knowledge, right? Knowledge is
Yep.
not in good enough in itself. It's how do I apply what I know, and you can only do that through an experience. Did I hit it?
Yeah, and people, some people may think, or well, a possible response to that would be, okay, but how can I execute it if the business is not working and I don't have any clients? Or that's something someone could think.
Mhm, mhm,
But then, I mean, why do you need clients to execute? Just
mm,
execute it either on your own if you want to put in practice, like let's say you learn, because that's my field of operations, you want to master Google Ads marketing.
okay. Mhm,
So, okay, you find tons of educational content. You learn the mindset. You want to build, let's say, a Google Ads agency. So how can you put that into practice? I mean, if you have some money, you can launch some campaigns for yourself. You can go out and try to pitch that to some clients. If they buy already, if you have overcome that obstacle, great, wonderful. Just execute it while learning with paid clients. That's wonderful. If not, if you're not at that level yet, just approach some clients. If you know that you can do a good job, be totally honest and transparent. Hey, you know what, I'm learning this, I will do that for free for 2 months. After 2 months we will look at the results, and if that's something that's worth to you, we will continue with that kind of a deal, or we will talk and I will make an offer there. And I mean, I am not an advocate of working for free, especially in the marketing and graphical stuff, because every company is trying to pitch you, okay, hey, use me for a portfolio project so that I don't have to pay you. That's not the thing. You don't want to let yourself being exploited, but collect some kind of testimonials and case studies. I mean, going the extra mile, working for free is totally fine. I mean, you do it for a couple of months, and then you can go to the next client in maybe the same niche, say, look, I've done that for that client with these results, with this investment, and here's the deal. And for the next one, you of course don't do it for free anymore. That has a price tag because you bring value. So there's no excuse
mhm,
of not executing. And if and let's say in the worst situation, everyone knows someone who has a business. Just go to your network, go to a friend of yours, go to ask in your community. You always know someone who has a business that you know personally, and if you know them personally, it's even easier to approach them and tell them, hey, that's That's my dream. That's my vision. Here's what I already know because I have educated myself and I have confidence that it works. Here's the concept. Let me do it for free and prove that it works. And then if I bring you value, but only if I bring you value, let's continue the work.
I love it. I mean, that was worth the entire session. And this is one thing I tell new business owners too is you got to go do it. Do it, even if you do it for free. And I love how you threw in there, no, we're not going to do this forever, but this is part of the success tax almost. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to go in there and do some sweat equity. You have to prove that your thing actually works. And what better way is to offer what you do for free to gather, here's the return, the testimonial, to gather your own recognizance of what is it that you do and if it works. And so I think that's brilliant, whether you sell cakes or whether you, like you say, you're doing Google SEO, right? Can I do it
Yeah.
and get a result for someone, right? What is the, can I give it, offer it for free? I think that's beautiful. You would quickly gain a network of people and a portfolio of clients that you help. All right. Last question, then I'm going to give you final thoughts after this. Right. So if you could go back to your 13-year-old self, who's
Mm-hmm.
now getting into all these things that you want to learn and execute and brainwashing yourself, right? But you had this great advantage to go talk to yourself to get you there faster or to go through whatever you're going to go through, the challenges. What would you tell yourself, your 10-year-old, 13-year-old self?
To be honest, I would tell him just to do the things that I turned out doing, maybe do them a little bit faster, a little bit earlier, and because those, I think the steps have been in the right order. Because that's interesting. You can do the right things, but in the wrong order, and they won't work. For now, and I'm very young. For now, I have done the steps in the right order, so I don't know better. So I would go back and tell him just the things that I turned out doing, which are first. We get back to the same topic: build your foundation, but execute while doing it. Then talk openly about your passion, your philosophy, your vision. Don't be afraid to get that out. I mean, I
Yeah.
started posting it on my Instagram, started talking about personal development. And to be honest, from that moment on, um, my network and groups of people that are interested, of friends that are interested in this niche exploded. So when you put yourself out there, of course you attract like-minded people, and that's what you need. That's how you get your alliance, because people think, if here we're in a small country, nearly countryside, we talked about it earlier, cities here have 20,000 inhabitants. The biggest one here has on 100,000 inhabitants, and that's what we call cities. So I often hear, hey, there's no one that's interested in personal development near me. I mean, they are. They just don't know me, didn't know you. If you sit in your small room, not talking to anyone, and if you're out in the public, you sit there quiet because you're afraid that somebody might judge you, you won't find them. And if you don't get out there. So that's the thing. Just surround yourself with those people by talking about it openly, and they will push you. Get yourself some mentors. What I did primarily for the first part of my journey was using podcasts, audiobooks, and books as my mentors or mentor substitutes, because I mean I didn't have access, I didn't have resources, and I didn't know how to bring value. So better than nothing is it to just hear. And that's the great thing of podcasts and audiobooks. I mean, you can just listen to it, and it's like you're talking to a friend. You're getting insights to the thoughts and into the life of the most successful people. I've read so many biographies of great entrepreneurs, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and many more. And they're so inspiring. So I use that as my mentors. But I saw my success really take a big step forward once I connected also to in person mentors. I mean, I joined the mastermind, an international mastermind with great marketing leaders from Europe, and we meet 4 times a year. I've just came home from Dubai a few weeks ago, where we've been there a week with real, great people who founded great things, way bigger than I am, and the things that they talk about, and you can talk about with them, sharing your struggles. That's also one thing that I realized way well. Okay, it's never too late, but I could have realized even earlier. Everyone wants to look good in front of others. So that's why, in a social situation, to be honest, and I'm talking about myself, well, sometimes we're trying, we're talking about the good things, the positive things. Nobody, of course, wants to be next to a person who always, well, talks about how bad everything goes. But still, by always talking about what's going well, and yeah, I mean, I'm hustling, and I'm stressed but good, and all this stuff. Once I really opened up, I mean, I don't go out and just talk with everyone about it, but in front of the right people. Once I opened up our struggles that we have in our company and asked them, hey, I mean, what's your advice? I mean, you have to give them some context. You have to get in a conversation. You can't just ask them one question. They lack the context. But once I realized that, and I realized that the people are so open and they help you as much as
Yeah.
they can with an open-hearted, uh, um, uh, with an open heart, because they like your ambition, and the solutions you get actually work because they have been there. I mean, that has been a game changer to me. So there are so many things I would recommend to my younger self. Build habits. Strong habits are a foundation of everything. I mean, that's the thing we are working on, Dave. And I'm still. I mean, you're never out. That's never done. There's always and creating the better version, 1% every day, and you're getting better, getting better, getting better. And yeah, those are some of the main things I would say.
I
We've
love it.
talked
I love
for.
it. And so I'm super glad that I asked you that question. And it's good to have brilliant people just start talking because so many good things pour out. But what you said is so profound. If you could talk openly about your passion, I think that's how you find your lions, right? And that's how you attract people to what you're doing and what you're building. And I think the transparency of that is it gets you out of the isolation. One second.
Yep. Well, and that's important if you start because you think that you're alone. You think that nobody's like you, and you that can demotivate you, and that can. I mean, if you that's a huge thing, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss that opportunity, if you miss the chance to build, or if you miss like the importance of building those network, those lions, with the first setback, the first obstacle, you know what your former friends will say? They will try to get you back to where they are, where you started before you jumped on that personal development journey and on that business creating, building idea, because they know that safe zone, and they do it because they love you, and they will tell you, hey, come on, just forget about that, it's hard. They don't want you to hurt yourself. So when they see that you struggle, because that's normal, they
Mm-hmm.
want to like pull you back, to
Right.
have that you into in their circle, to to hold you safely and
Yeah.
protect you. But I mean, that will that's a huge problem, of course, because that you will never reach your dream that way. Whereas the lions, they're going through this struggle
Yeah.
as well. Some have been there, and they will tell you to push on, to continue, because I mean, they know that that's normal and that's what's needed.
Yeah. Creating your environment. I love that. Talk openly about your passion and talk openly about your struggles, with the two things that you said. This was wonderful. I don't know. I know you said so much. I don't know if you have any more in the tank. Is there anything else that I might have missed asking the question that you think somebody need, or because I'm talking about I could write a whole book. I'm looking at all my notes. So, is there anything that you missed before we wrap up? Because I don't want to skip
No,
anything.
I wouldn't say so. Of course, I mean
Okay.
there's so much more to talk about, but you asked great questions. I think many of the most important things that came to my mind, I've said them. And if there's anything else that you're interested in, I mean, just ask.
Yeah, they got enough. They got enough to go execute right now, right? I have some stuff
Exactly.
that I got to execute on. All right, so this is Philip, man, all the way in Italy. You follow what I'm saying? He's our international mentor, helping us make it happen. Anyway, getting us focused on building, helping you do and become. Now, if you need a service, do you help people in the States or at all?
Well, yeah, we do. That's actually one of my goals and my next dreams to also expand. I mean, we've mainly worked in Europe for now, but if there's someone interested in the States, I know the marketing philosophy works and our tactics because we learn them from our most of our mentors are in the States that we learn marketing from. So well, if you have something or you know someone who needs some help with, I mean, creating marketing that drives results, that drives your revenue, that brings you clients when it comes to websites, social media, and stuff, or if you need absolutely beautiful and high performing team, so if you need well, collaborators and staff, I mean, we will put some link so anywhere you can
Already there.
contact me. I will give you a free consultation and maybe something grows out of that.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. 100%. Anybody who's solving a problem on and trying to scale it, that's called a business. Whatever that thing that you're doing, all you need is to expose your product to the people, and that's figuring out how to make more offers and make them offers correctly. So this guy has built two companies that can help you to scale up. Number one, Web and Grow all your digital real estate, whether again be about your designs, your social media, and your direct target marketing. All three advertisement, all three components you will need. And number two, how to build your team, employee.com. The link will be in the description somewhere. If you need to help recruiting, you give a relief to your HR department and get some lions or some team members on the side of you. This is a guy that can help you. And he got all he needs. He said it was a goal. We're going to help him, right? He has all he needs. You know how to talk our language. All his mentors are from the state. And we hopefully can get somebody to connect with him, man. Well, we appreciate you, Philip. You are the man. I'm extremely proud of you. And we definitely are grateful for you releasing your wisdom and taking this time to share your journey. And I know even if this will help somebody who's going to need it, who is stuck, who is struggling, and who wants to scale, and I know they're going to be blessed by the information you took the time to give us, man. So we appreciate you, man, and we thank you.
Well, I want to thank you, Dave, because yeah, alongside your lions and your mentors, you also need the right coaches. And I mean, we've been working together for, I don't know, quite some time now, and I've seen my life improve drastically since we worked together. So yeah, both inside of energy and routines and all the stuff, and also like hard facts, business growth, financial income and stuff. So, well, thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the great conversation and the great questions. And well, thanks for everything, Dave.
Yes, sir, man. Well, you know it, man. I'm gonna see you next week. And I know you making it happen, man. All right, man. All right, guys. We'll see you shortly on the next one. Share this with somebody. And we're gonna all make it happen, man. All right, Philip. You make it happen, Doc.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.